It was respectful, and I felt, that they listened to what I had to say. It's an unfortunate situation, and everybody kind of says it's somebody else's fault. They're still going to do it.
Right. And, of course, the law has changed in recent years. I think it goes back a number of years. But this is a highlight. Sometimes things happen out of the Ohio General Assembly that people really don't understand how it impacts them. And it's understandable. All of us are busy, can't pay attention to everything, but that's how things like this sometimes happen.
Well, we pay attention the best we can.
Right.
Like I say, when we found out, we did not have a lot of time to find out what was going on.
Nor did we have the choice, because that was due to the type of annexation that was being done. So I didn't understand any of that. I've been educated between the township meeting last night and this meeting today. I understand type 1, type 2 expedited annexations. I understand what that's all about now.
Okay, so in terms of procedure, I know that you're unhappy with the substance. You think you've been heard. Have you, by the way, been to the Plains Township trustees?
Oh, yes, twice.
Okay. Twice?
Yeah.
And what kind of reception have you gotten there?
Well, they explained things, and they've been interested, and I've called them and talked to them about it. I was sort of aware that they could object, but they felt, I think, that it was not going to do anything.
I think that maybe they could not even have objected, because, like they mentioned, there's only 7 criteria.
And they kind of...
And I don't know that any of those criteria were in the scope of their authority.
Yeah, see, we don't know
And
what
I
the
think
criteria are.
that's what I understand.
Right, and this is why earlier in our conversation I talked about the Ohio General Assembly. Plus, it really goes back there as to how legislation is put together and who it affects, who it impacts. And this is a good object lesson to all citizens that even with the limitations of time and familiarity with the legislative process, an awful lot happens in Columbus and in Washington that affects us in our neighborhoods.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. No, we were on it as soon as we knew about it, but, we've had maybe 2.5 weeks.
And it wasn't even a matter of being too late, just it was a matter of being informed about something that we had no control over anyhow, and so it was irritating, but I understand that that's the way the law is written, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Have you contacted your state legislators?
I have not.
No,
We were given House Bill 602 as a reference to, I guess there's some action maybe being put on House Bill 602.
Okay.
But when I went to the internet to try to find it, I couldn't find anything that satisfied me as to what House Bill 602 is about.
Okay. Well, there is
I think it's my search.
I do a fair amount of research on the Ohio General Assembly, and the Ohio General Assembly does have a website, and of course, speaking for myself, I've done a lot of this.
Yeah.
I think it's relatively easy, if it's a real bill that exists, to find it. So I'd encourage you to take another look.
Ohio General Assembly?
Right.
See, I just Googled it, and...
Yeah, well, if you I'm trying to remember how I do it a lot, but my recollection is...
That's right.
You got it. You got it. Okay.
So this is the bill right here?
Okay. So you've been there and
gosh.
gotten it.
See, that's the thing.
The township administrator sent it to me.
Oh, then, okay.
Trying to get through this.
But this is another example of government trying to be as helpful as they can.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, that she gave it to me, yes. I mean, they were, they tried.
And I think the problem is that the average person, if they were to find this on the internet, which I was unable, is not going to be able to get through this.
Well, they're on that same website.
Yeah.
there's a group that works with legislation that summarizes it, which helps lay people,
Right.
non-legislators, to maybe get a little better grasp on legislation. Some of these bills go hundreds of pages.
Well, thousands.
Well,
not
hopefully
maybe-
not.
I'm thinking like
Maybe
the
at
Obamacare thing
maybe
was,
at
what,
the
2,000 pages
federal
or something?
level.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at the
right,
federal level,
right.
right.
Hopefully,
Nobody reads that.
but the
Well,
every
the ones that voted on it never read it. At least the Obamacare stuff.
every 2 years, Ohio passes a budget, and that's probably the longest
Yeah.
bill that that the Ohio General Assembly. But you're right, they can be a chore to get through. But one of the things Stark County Political Report wants to do is to encourage folks like yourself to be involved in their government. So thank you for being here today, and you can get the Stark County Political Report just by Googling Stark County Political Report. And if there's any further development on this matter, I'd appreciate hearing from you.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
doing the interview.